One of the questions that many people want to know is, why is Boston Whaler so expensive?
Boston Whaler charges outrageous prices for what many owners discover is just another fiberglass bathtub. The brand's legendary marketing sells nostalgia at a premium, converting propaganda to profits. But scroll through any boating forum today, and you'll find a different story brewing beneath the surface. Forum discussions frequently mention disappointment with the price-to-performance ratio compared to brands like Grady-White. Many owners report that the ride quality doesn't match their expectations, particularly in choppy conditions where the boats can feel harsh and jarring. The truth is, Boston Whaler has built such a powerful reputation that many buyers never question whether these boats actually fit their needs. They buy the legend, not the boat. And for some, that decision leads to years of regret and the uncomfortable realization that they paid premium prices for compromises they never saw coming. Walk into any Boston Whaler dealership and prepare for sticker shock. Boston Whalers consistently command premium pricing compared to similar boats from other manufacturers, often costing $10,000 to $30,000 more than comparable models from brands like Key West, Sea Hunt, or Parker. That price gap leaves many buyers questioning whether they're paying for performance or just the name on the side. The pricing disparity becomes particularly apparent when comparing smaller models. A Boston Whaler 150 Montauk runs around $39,000 to $42,000, while a comparable fiberglass center console from a brand like Pioneer with similar size and power typically costs $25,000 to $30,000. That's up to $15,000 more for weekend lake fishing, representing a lot of money for foam-filled construction you'll likely never need. Move up to mid-sized center consoles and the gap widens further. A Boston Whaler 210 Montauk commands $90,000 to $120,000, while boats from Sea Hunt or Key West with similar specifications run $68,000 to $90,000. Forum discussions frequently mention this price-to-performance disparity, with many boaters questioning whether paying $20,000 to $30,000 more for the Whaler name is justified. Boston Whaler justifies its premiums by pointing to the brand's unsinkable unibond construction and legendary durability. However, some owners discover that paying extra for that peace of mind doesn't always guarantee satisfaction on the water. While the closed-cell foam used in Whaler hulls is designed to resist water absorption, water can enter if the fiberglass skin is breached or through poorly sealed fittings. In those cases, water may collect in voids around the foam or between the foam and the laminate, adding weight and potentially affecting performance. Addressing water intrusion often requires careful drainage and repair because trapped water isn't always easy to remove. The specialized construction makes dealing with a saturated hull far more involved than conventional fiberglass work. While a standard hull can simply be drained and patched, a waterlogged Whaler requires a grueling process of trying to dry the internal core, increasing both time and cost compared to traditional hull construction. Forum discussions reveal a common theme among owners who feel they overpaid. Many express buyer's remorse after comparing their total ownership costs to friends who chose other brands. The initial premium of $20,000 or more, combined with the risk of permanent water weight in the core, creates a cost structure that some owners find difficult to justify. While Boston Whalers do hold their value better than many boats, the cost difference often exceeds the resale advantage. Even with stronger resale values, the higher purchase price may not be fully offset when factoring in the total cost of ownership over several years. Boston Whaler's marketing emphasizes safety and unsinkability, but rarely mentions how their hull design affects ride quality. The structural foam that prevents sinking creates an extremely rigid platform, but the real culprit behind ride complaints is Boston Whaler's unique hull geometry, not just the foam construction. Boston Whaler's smaller models use their patented AccuTrack hull design, featuring distinctive sponsons or smiles on the outer edges of the bow. These forward sponsons catch air and water to provide exceptional stability at rest, but they're also what causes the characteristic slapping sound and jarring impacts in choppy conditions. While this design prevents the boat from rocking when you walk to the side, it creates a harsh ride when seas pick up. Traditional deep V hulls from manufacturers like Grady-White and Pursuit ride smoother because their sharp entry and variable dead rise angles slice through waves rather than slapping them. Boston Whaler's hull shapes are flatter to maximize internal foam volume and provide lateral stability, but this design philosophy prioritizes stability over ride comfort. The problem becomes most pronounced with Boston Whaler's smaller models. The 170 Montauk, measuring 17 feet 4 inches with a 7-foot 3-inch beam, exemplifies this trade-off. While the boat provides rock-solid stability for fishing and won't roll when passengers move around, that same stability becomes a liability in choppy water where the AccuTrack hull pounds rather than cuts through waves. Boston Whaler redesigned the 170 Montauk hull in 2018 specifically to address the rough ride reputation, increasing the dead rise to create a sharper V entry. While the newer hulls represent an improvement, they still don't match the ride quality of dedicated deep V designs from brands like Grady-White or Edgewater that prioritize wave-cutting ability over ultimate stability. The ride quality issues create real consequences for passengers. While the Unibond construction means the boat itself can handle the beating without screws backing out or parts rattling, whalers are often called the quietest boats on the water because they lack the hollow, drum-like sound of traditional boats. The passengers' knees and backs cannot. Extended trips in choppy conditions leave crews fatigued and sore, limiting the boat's usefulness for all-day adventures. This represents the fundamental trade-off in Boston Whaler's design philosophy. The hull shapes that provide exceptional stability at rest and enable maximum foam volume also create ride characteristics that some owners find punishing in anything more than calm conditions. For buyers who prioritize fishing stability over ride comfort, this trade-off makes sense, but for those expecting luxury boat smoothness, the reality can be disappointing. Boston Whaler has cultivated one of the most devoted followings in the marine industry. The brand's Unsinkable Legend marketing campaign has created a mystique so powerful that many buyers never bother comparing actual value propositions against competitors. Take the Boston Whaler 210 Montauk versus the Sea Hunt Ultra series. Both are center consoles designed for similar applications, but the Sea Hunt's Ultra series includes nearly everything but the motor in the base price, including livewell, raw water washdown, premium upholstery, and on larger models like the Ultra 239 side entry dive doors. On the Whaler, these same features are locked behind expensive fishing packages that can add $8,000 to $12,000 to the final price. Yet whaler enthusiasts will argue that paying extra for basic fishing amenities is worth it for unsinkable peace of mind. The brand's marketing genius lies in selling heritage over value. Boston Whaler's website features dramatic rescue stories and maritime history, while competitors like Scout and Sea Hunt focus on specifications, feature comparisons, and luxury appointments. This emotional approach creates buyers who feel they're purchasing maritime history rather than evaluating practical boat features. Boston Whaler owners often defend aesthetic choices that would be criticized on other brands. The 210 Montauk's utilitarian cockpit and basic bench seating become classic simplicity, while a Sea Hunt's quilted upholstery and premium cockpit bolsters are dismissed as unnecessary luxury. The reality is that buyers pay $30,000 more for a boat that feels like a workboat, while competitors deliver luxury comfort and appointments. The brand loyalty extends to overlooking obvious value disparities. While Boston Whaler offers advanced Simrad digital switching and glass dash technology, the overall aesthetic still feels utilitarian compared to competitors. Scout's articulating rocket launchers and Sea Hunt's integrated dive doors come standard on mid-size models, while Whaler typically reserves these features for their much larger, much more expensive Outrage series. Social media amplifies this echo chamber effect. Boston Whaler Facebook groups showcase pristine boats in perfect conditions, accompanied by testimonials about legendary reliability. But scroll through the comments on any critical review, and you'll find Whaler owners dismissing legitimate value concerns with phrases like, "You just don't understand what makes a real boat," or "Once you own a Whaler, everything else feels cheap." This defensive culture prevents honest evaluation of where Boston Whaler actually excels versus where competitors might serve buyers better. The result is a marketplace where brand mythology trumps practical comparison shopping, leaving some buyers paying premium prices for boats that feel plain and utilitarian compared to the luxury-appointed competitors that cost significantly less. Boston whalers excel in specific conditions: inshore and nearshore fishing, day trips, and recreational boating where versatility and reliability are priorities. Their stable platforms, reliable construction, and versatile layouts make them excellent choices for mixed-use boating. The unsinkable construction provides genuine peace of mind for families, and their reputation for reliability means less time dealing with repairs and more time on the water. But problems arise when buyers try to use Boston whalers outside their sweet spot. For serious offshore fishing, Boston whalers face limitations in hull design rather than fuel capacity. While the 320 Outrage carries a respectable 300 gallons of fuel, serious offshore anglers prefer the 30-plus degree dead-rise entry of boats like Yellowfin or Freeman for high-speed runs in 4-foot seas. The whaler's flatter hull design that provides excellent stability at rest becomes a liability when trying to maintain speed and comfort in rough offshore conditions. For shallow water and flats fishing, Boston whalers face limitations beyond just draft depth. While models like the 190 and 210 Montauk draft around 16 to 18 inches compared to dedicated flats boats that draft 8 to 10 inches, the real issue is stealth. The AccuTrack hull design with its forward sponsons creates surface slap that sends vibrations through the water, spooking fish in shallow environments. Boats like the Maverick 18 HPXV or Yellowfin 24 Bay offer not just shallower draft but quieter operation with specialized features like poling platforms and trolling motors that serious flats anglers prefer. Water sports enthusiasts frequently regret choosing Boston whalers. The boat's focus on fishing means limited seating and minimal storage for water sports gear, but the bigger issue is weight quality. Because of the foam construction and hull shape, whalers don't dig into the water to create the ramp-like wake that wakeboarders and water skiers need. They produce small, hard wakes that lack any wake-shaping technology. A Mastercraft or Nautique provides a far superior water sports experience with specialized ballast systems, tower speakers, and ergonomic seating designed for all-day comfort. Family cruising represents another mismatch. Boston whalers' center console designs prioritize fishing functionality over passenger comfort. The 230 Outrage's bench seating feels stark next to a Pursuit DC 246, which offers a dual console layout with wraparound lounges, a dedicated enclosed head, and the same saltwater durability as the whaler. Boston Whaler offers a diverse lineup including center consoles, dual consoles, cabin boats, and bay boats, but buyers often gravitate toward the brand's most famous center console designs. This focus means buyers often compromise on boat type to get the whaler name, ending up with a fishing boat when they really needed a family cruiser or specialized fishing platform. Even for their intended inshore fishing market, Boston whalers face stiff competition from boats designed specifically for those conditions. The Sea Hunt Ultra 229 or Key West 239 FS offer nearly identical fishing capabilities and better seating layouts for $30,000 less, providing the functionality inshore anglers actually use without the whaler tax. Boston Whaler's core philosophy has stayed centered on durability and the unsinkable advantage, while competitors have pushed design and technology in different directions. This conservative approach prioritizes proven methods over radical innovation, especially compared to custom builders who experiment more aggressively with new concepts. Premium center console builders like HCB, Yellowfin, and Invincible often highlight advanced hull concepts and high-end materials that appeal to performance-minded buyers. These manufacturers market stepped hulls, carbon fiber construction, and weight-saving techniques as competitive advantages. Boston Whaler's foam core construction remains central to their identity, but it represents a different philosophy than brands chasing maximum performance through lightweight materials. Some competitors emphasize integrated electronics packages and comfort-oriented layouts that differ from Whaler's traditional approach. Brands like Grady-White showcase their CV squared deep V hull design as a ride quality advantage, while Scout and Sea Hunt highlight factory integrated electronics packages that appeal to buyers looking for turnkey technology solutions. But Boston Whaler's real limitation isn't technology. Their modern boats feature advanced C-zone digital switching, joystick piloting, and integrated SIMRAD systems that rival any competitor. The problem is serviceability. Because of the Unibond foam-filled hull construction, owners struggle to run new wires, add new transducers, or upgrade electronics after the boat leaves the factory. On a Sea Hunt or Parker, there are open rigging tubes where you can easily pull new cables. On a Whaler, those paths are often narrow, pre-filled with original harnesses, and surrounded by foam. This creates long-term frustration for owners who want to upgrade their electronics or add new equipment. What starts as a simple transducer installation becomes a major project requiring specialized tools and techniques to navigate around the foam core. Owners discover they're locked into whatever technology was installed at the factory, making their boats difficult and expensive to modernize as technology evolves. This also creates a marketplace where Whaler appeals to buyers who value proven durability, while other brands attract customers seeking cutting-edge features or maximum performance. This positioning works for Whaler's core customer base, but creates challenges when competing for tech-savvy boaters who expect their boats to evolve with changing technology. The brand risks being perceived as expensive inflexibility rather than premium innovation.